Now at 10, authorities charge a man who they say shot another person with a BB pellet gun in Carl Junction. Plus, a Crawford County resident contracts a rare disease after being bitten by a tick. And a celebration for a brewery based in Alba, Missouri.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
A man is now charged in connection with a BB/pellet gun shooting yesterday afternoon in Carl Junction. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Authorities charged 38-year-old Douglas Starbuck of Carl Junction with third-degree assault. The court set a $10,000 cash bond. Authorities say a moving company had shown up at Starbuck's house to repossess two sheds. They say Starbuck then started an argument with the workers, went into his house, got a pellet BB pistol, and fired at least one shot. The shot hit a worker in the cheek. The worker had non-life-threatening injuries. The Sarcoxie, Missouri police chief resigns a month after the mayor suspended her for behavior issues. Brandy KOAM announced her resignation on Facebook. The Sarcoxie mayor had suspended KOAM in May for 2 weeks, he says, over behavior factors, disobedience, and certain social media posts. KOAM appealed the decision with a large showing of community support, but the city council voted to keep her off the job until May 19th. Now KOAM writes she's resigning the Sarcoxie Police Department for moral and ethical reasons. You can find her entire statement on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Southwest Missourians and statewide leaders mourn the loss of a former politician and community leader. Former Joplin mayor and state lawmaker Ron Richard died today at age 75. His time in the state legislature began in 2002, first as a state representative and House Speaker, then as a state senator representing Jasper, Newton, and Dade counties. He eventually became Senate president. Missouri Governor Mike Parson released a statement saying, in part, quote, he continued serving Joplin and Southwest Missouri long after his tenure in state government and will be remembered for his years of committed leadership. Missouri Southern President Dr. Dean Van Galen said in part, quote, Senator Ron Richard dedicated his life to public service and is one of the university's most distinguished graduates. Richard was also a member of the Missouri Southern State University's Board of Directors. Ron Richard, they say, quote, was a lifelong champion of the university and leaves a tremendous legacy at Missouri Southern, end quote. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a pretty good Friday for most of us. Temperatures not bad, partly sunny skies, mid-80s. 85 was our high, started at 67. Normal high is about 84, so this is right where we should be for this time of the year. And we have been tracking some thunderstorms out across the state line of Kansas and Oklahoma, kind of dying over the past several hours. Still some showers out there from Grand Lake up toward near Parsons, but fairly light. Much bigger batch of storms. Look at this big batch out across central and western Kansas. And this is going to drive toward us as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. So we are going to get some storms in here very late tonight, mainly after 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Here's 2 a.m. We'll stop at 4:30 a.m. You can see these storms driving in and then driving into southwestern Missouri tomorrow morning. So, of course, we're going to look at the weekend forecast here in just a bit.
See you soon. Kansas health officials have identified a case of Heartland virus disease in Crawford County. Heartland is a tick-borne disease. It's the first case in Crawford County and only the third ever in Kansas. The symptoms of Heartland include fever, fatigue, muscle or joint pain, headache, and occasionally a rash. Experts remind people to take steps to prevent tick bites when outside. A small town brewery in southwest Missouri is pouring up some glasses for a celebration. Beard Engine Brewing Company in Alba today kicked off their third anniversary Firkin Fest. A firkin is a measurement of volume in Germany, each firkin being about 10 gallons in a casket. The brewery is known for its unique beers, and for today's firkins, they served up a mango mochi milkshake IPA, a raspberry jelly donut lager, and a fig honey lemon amber ale.
And my husband has a background, his family history is English and Wales, and so he started looking into different brewing types that aren't done really well, like widely. He wanted the most obscure types of beer, and he wanted to be good at them.
In my head, like, this might work, these flavors might work, and if I can do something that works in another market, then I feel like I've done something pretty unique.
All 3 firkins sold out in 52 minutes, not even an hour into the event. There was also food from Chameleon Cuisine Burger, Love Food Truck, and live music from Ashton Barbary. The celebration continues tomorrow, starting at 3 p.m., lasts until 10, and then into Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Each day will feature several unique firkins to try. The Carthage Area United Way conducted its 23rd annual United Way Day of Caring event. Brought together individuals and local companies to volunteer at various nonprofit agencies in the Carthage area. Projects included yard work, painting, paperwork, and some other necessary tasks. Organizations receiving assistance included the Carthage Crisis Center, Lafayette House, Jasper County CASA, Children's Mercy Hospital, Children's Haven Crossline, and Community Support Services Early Learning Center.
We've built new window covers to keep people from breaking into the buildings, power washed the concrete so we can seal it. I was impressed this morning. I turned around and looked, it was 10 o'clock, and I said, well, man, we've got a lot of work done in 2 hours. So it's just a blessing for them to come out and help us.
8 local companies provided volunteers for that event. Food Truck Friday is back in Carthage. Today, the event brought in a pump track for bike and skateboard riders. It allows an up and down pumping motion to propel forward, but the star attraction, of course, is the food.
Oh, we got our best seller, the pancit bihon and the pancit canton combo meals. Those are the ones that were best sellers, and of course, the Filipino-made lumpia.
Food Truck Fridays are hosted at Central Park on the second Friday of every month through October. Some area seniors geared up to catch some trout. The Neosho National Fish Hatchery today hosted its annual Senior Fishing Derby. It's a chance for folks to come out and socialize while also honing their angler skills. The fishery says the event started as just a small thing, but it gradually became one of its largest. There was a 4 trout limit and there was no catch and release. Catching fish wasn't only for seniors today, as the hatchery invited some young guests to attend as well.
Well, we brought our kids out today to fish in the Derby, and we've done this, 3 or 4 years now, and we love it. We have a great time. The kids have a good time. The teachers enjoy just getting out of the classroom. It's a wonderful time for summer school to do this.
Ridley says it was a great chance to teach students patience and socialization skills. The hatchery provided all of the gear. Coming up, the Department of Justice unseals the indictment of former President Donald Trump in connection with the classified documents case. Plus, the U.S. is sending more aid to Canada to help combat the wildfires causing air quality alerts on the East Coast. Former President Donald Trump has been indicted for allegedly mishandling of classified documents. He's the first ever former president to face federal criminal charges. The indictment comes as Trump is in full campaign mode to win re-election to the White House. Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington, D.C.
The Department of Justice unsealed the 37 counts issued by a federal grand jury in Miami against former President Donald Trump.
We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
The 49-page document alleges Trump and longtime aide Walt Nauta engaged in a conspiracy to keep classified documents he had taken with him from the White House and to hide and conceal them. Photographs from court filings show boxes strewn throughout Mar-a-Lago in a public ballroom, piled in a bathroom, tucked under a water pipe, and tossed on a storage room floor. Prosecutors say some of the documents were marked top secret, some relating to nuclear weapon capabilities of the U.S. and its adversaries, as well as sensitive U.S. military planning. The indictment also alleges that Trump showed documents to others who did not have security clearances on at least 2 occasions at his golf club in New Jersey. That's where he was seen golfing Friday morning. He also posted on his social media platform attacking special counsel Jack Smith as a, quote, Trump hater, a deranged psycho. Smith was appointed last year by the Justice Department to oversee the investigation. President Biden told reporters Friday he has had no contact with the Attorney General about the case.
I have not spoken to him at all. I'm not going to speak to him. I have no comment on what happened.
Meanwhile, security preparations are underway in Miami, where Trump is expected in court on Tuesday. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
The indictment quotes an alleged conversation between Trump and his lawyer, with Trump saying, "Wouldn't it be better if we just told them we don't have anything here?" and suggesting that his attorney hide or destroy documents that were demanded by a subpoena. Smoke from the Canadian fires is forcing the White House to postpone a big Pride celebration. That event was originally planned for yesterday, but will now be held tomorrow due to air quality issues. Officials called the event the largest Pride celebration in White House history. The celebration coincides with a number of actions the Biden administration is taking to protect the LGBTQ+ community. That includes appointing a new federal coordinator to address the increase in book bans enacted across different states. The poor air quality from those wildfires in Canada is expected to stick around in some parts of the East Coast a bit longer. More than 75 million Americans are under air quality alerts. The U.S. is stepping up its efforts to assist Canada with fighting more than 400 relentless wildfires. Forest rangers from New York will be joining hundreds of firefighters already sent by the U.S. And yesterday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called on the Department of Agriculture to double the number of U.S. Forest Service personnel available to help in Canada. A little later, how some conservationists are using nurseries to bring coral reefs back to life.
Plus, thunderstorms rolling in for us later on tonight. Those details coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a pretty good Friday for us today. Temperatures not bad, mid-80s, pretty close to where we should be for this time of the year. And it looks like temperatures actually are going to cool down a little bit as we go into the weekend and then also into early next week. Pretty quiet for most of us outside right now. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, temperatures right now, we're still hovering low to mid 70s. We're not going to drop off too much. We'll back down into the mid 60s a little bit later on tonight. 7th and range line 74, visibility at 10 miles. Southeasterly winds are light at about 5 to 10. Plus, we've been tracking some thunderstorms. These have been right along the state line of Kansas and Oklahoma, greatly weakening over the past couple hours. In fact, it's just kind of moderate showers at this point in time, especially once you get down across Craig County, western parts of Ottawa County, parts of Delaware County, so near Grand Lake. But again, this batch is weakening, but a much bigger batch. Look at these thunderstorms from Concordia to Salina, Hayes, all the way back toward Dodge City. But this big complex, mainly strong storms, not a ton of severe weather, is pushing south and east, and it's going to make it here. Later on tonight, of course, it's going to get into our western counties first, and then our eastern counties last. Let's go to about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Showers and thunderstorms spreading in. Some heavy amounts of rain, especially 6, 7, 8, 9 a.m. Once we pass about 10 a.m., the heaviest of the rain will be in our southern counties, but it is going to be fairly widespread. Showers, thunderstorms continue through the morning. So we're just shy of the noon hour. Then we start to clear out in the afternoon. Overall, it looks pretty good. High temps, 82, 83 degrees. As we get into tomorrow evening, it looks fairly nice, but then tomorrow night, once again, here comes another batch of showers and thunderstorms. Some heavy amounts of rain, maybe some strong storms as well. These dive in tomorrow night. So here's 3 a.m. on Sunday. We'll start the day on Sunday with some morning showers and thunderstorms, a break, and then once our cold front rolls through Sunday afternoon, we will get some isolated thunderstorms. So over the next 2 days, fairly widespread showers and thunderstorms, which we need, fairly heavy, which we also need, and most of these are going to be late night and through the morning over the next 2 days. Once this front rolls through, we start to cool down. So look at our overnight lows moving into Monday down into the upper 50s and high temps into the upper 70s. Day planner tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms, especially through the morning, a few isolated in the afternoon, high temp of 82. How much rain could we get? The heaviest is going to be right along the Kansas and Oklahoma state line. So here's tomorrow's batch. Here's Sunday's batch. So over the next 2 days, a lot of areas, especially Joplin back through northeastern Oklahoma, should get 1 or 2 inches of rain, which is something we greatly need. 82 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday. Showers and thunderstorms, especially in the mornings. Monday looks good, 79. Thunderstorms back in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Some of those, especially on Tuesday, could be strong, possibly severe.
Boy, I hope we get plenty of rain while there's an opportunity, because there will not be an opportunity forever.
Yeah, we need this shot over the weekend.
Thanks, Doug. Coral reefs are shrinking in the U.S. and all around the world. Scientists in the Middle East are racing to try to stop the damage and in some places reverse it. Reporter Ian Lee has that story from London.
Turning the tide on damaged reefs is a hands-on job. Scientists repair and revive corals in the waters of the Persian Gulf. But the ray of hope comes with a dark warning.
By the end of the century, if we don't rethink the way we build, coral reefs could be extinct.
6 years ago, the United Arab Emirates lost 70% of its corals when the water hit hot tub temperatures of nearly 100 degrees, which triggered coral bleaching. That's when reefs release the algae that gives corals their color, leaving them vulnerable to disease.
Although it did wipe out a good portion of our corals, it also proved that the corals that we have are actually resilient.
And those are the ones divers are searching for, to give them some TLC in a coral reef nursery, a place with clear water, strong currents, and just the right amount of sunlight to help them grow strong again.
We try to grow them from very small fragments up to now some of them have reached the size of my fist.
That's when conservationists move them back to their original reefs to keep thriving. Dubai is aiming to grow 1 billion artificial corals along a strip of beaches by 2040, a floating, living lab to help marine life prosper. Ian Lee, CBS News.
Still ahead, Joplin boys basketball has a new head coach, and the Royals travel to Baltimore looking to snap a losing streak. John Dales has those stories and more coming up next.
Hey, welcome into sports. I'm John Dales. Joplin boys basketball has found its new head man, Nick Pfeiffer, who coached the Eagles freshman team last year. Now he's the varsity head coach, the school announced today. Pfeiffer said the school and the city of Joplin has really grown on him.
This will be my second year here, so Coach Shockey, the previous coach, kind of brought me in last year to help with the freshmen. And, I've just really kind of fell in love with the job and Joplin. I'm originally from Carthage, but just coming over here and getting to work with some really great teachers and coaches and administrators, and then most certainly the players. And that's something I'm really excited about.
Over to college softball. Even if you don't pay attention to the sport all year long, you might have heard about the Oklahoma Sooners and their dominance over everybody else in the country. OU wins its third consecutive national championship with a 3-1 win over Florida State last night. And to put into perspective just how good the Sooners have been, they lost a game to Baylor way back in February. But from that point forward in the season, Oklahoma rattled off 53 wins in a row, culminating in a national championship. And by the way, that's their 6th title in the last decade. Over to local baseball and the Joplin Outlaws, who are in the midst of a long 7-game road trip. 2 games into it, Joplin had 1 win and 1 loss. After tonight, things just go final, and it just was not Joplin's night. It falls to the Mustangs of St. Joseph for the second night in a row, this time 8-1. Outlaws scored the first run of the game, but St. Joseph rattled off the next 8, including 3 in the bottom of the 5th. No rest for the Outlaws, though. They continue their road trip tomorrow at Clarinda. Over to professional baseball, Royals and Orioles battle tonight. In the first inning, no score when Austin Hayes takes Daniel Lynch deep and gone for a solo home run. His 7th of the year would put the Orioles up 1-0. Same score in the second when Jorge Mateo hits one up the middle off Lynch. Gunnar Henderson comes around to score. The Orioles take a 2-0 lead. Into the 4th, Royals down 2-1. James McCann hits a deep fly ball to center. And Drew Waters is there to make an incredible catch at the wall. Believe it or not, maybe not his best of the night, though. Jorge Mateo lifts this one up into center, and again, Waters is there to make the diving catch. Unfortunately for the Royals, didn't spark anything at the plate. MJ Melendez and Michael Garcia both strike out in the 9th. Royals lose their 4th in a row. Much better result for the Cardinals, though. They beat the Reds 7-4 tonight. Nolan Arenado, Jordan Walker, and Nolan Gorman all homered. Jordan Montgomery gets the win after throwing 6 scoreless on the mound. Wins have been few and far between for the Cardinals this year, but a big one right there.
Yeah, few and far between for the Royals as well. Yeah. Some of you have seen John Dales on air. Some of you maybe not, but again, he's part of our news team, part of our sports team, and we are glad to have you here, John.
Really excited to be here. You know, moving to the 4 states area, did not know a single soul here when I came here, but quickly getting to know people and quickly enjoying
Getting acquainted not only with the area, but with the sports teams very quickly. We'll be right back. Bring on the kids and the critters. The Pittsburgh Public Library is encouraging kids to read more, and they're using animals to help do it. The library hosted a petting zoo at Pittsburgh's Lincoln Park. It's part of the library's All Together Now summer reading program. Officials say it's a great way to get the community out and show kids that the library can be fun. Yeah, absolutely. You saw a huge turnout for that. The weather, for the most part, cooperated for that.
Yeah.
Hoping for some rain, though.
Yeah, we should get some showers. Thunderstorms drive in late tonight through the morning. Periods of showers and thunderstorms. I think the afternoon mainly dry. However, secondary batch rolls in tomorrow night into Sunday morning.
How about a final sports note?
Joplin Outlaws still got to go through the rest of that road contest. They got 4 more of them, but they're back here again late next week.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. Let's make it a great weekend.